you know, it seemed like the tempo was really good out there today. Does that sort of go back to what you guys have been implementing over the years?
Yeah, yeah. And older guys now, you know, it's like when you have an older team, I think the older you are, the more experienced you are, the quicker you hit the ground running, looking more like you should look, you know. Usually it takes a little time and you build into it, but, you know, we're fairly efficient today, to be honest with you. So, you know, and it's a new environment and everything, and so, you know, sometimes, you know, you say, like, does that really matter? But it's you know, it's hard not to look around and like, wow, this is really cool in here, you know. So players do the same thing. Also,
from everybody I talked to, it seemed like full participation. How good does that feel? Nobody with nicks and bruises, it seemed like.
Yeah, I mean, if the only guy that's not actively practicing right now is Elijah Johnson. He's still rehabbing, but, you know, he's en route to get there, but he's the only guy that's not really clear to go right now. But everybody else is clear to go. Yep.
Any timeline on his return?
You know, no. I mean, we'll get him back here. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, wait for the doctors.
Anthony, how's he looking the first day?
Yeah, it was great. You know, I think, you know, he had a nice first day today, and I think, you know, like he's a competitive guy. You know, he has a lot of body gestures if the throw's not right or something, and, you know, I just, you know, got to lose all that. You know, it is what it is, man. You're coming back, and day by day for everybody. Huh? Just go to the next play, get ready to roll. So we're trying to, you know, we're kind of easing him back as well. I mean, you know, but I thought he did great. He's so on top of, you know, his assignments.
The playbook and everything.
Very on top of it. Yep.
Coach, how did the team feel being in the practice facility for the first time?
They were jacked up. Yeah. When you walked down, if you guys remember, we started practice. You know, the sound system was absolutely incredible. The music was going, the video board was up. It's just a big time atmosphere, and you can't help but feel great. You know, a couple of former players were here today, and they were taking this all in. The big smile, like, I can't believe it. This is unbelievable. You know, you get that kind of response, this is a big time facility. This is as nice as you get in the country right here. So our kids were in awe. They loved it.
Who came through?
Today? Oh, Augie Hoffman was here today. Yeah, PJ was here today. Camilla. So, you know, yeah, good to see the guys in here.
So I know it's like day one, it was like super exciting, there's a lot of stuff, but camp is a very, very like finite period of time.
Yeah.
Like it feels like that got a lot done in a short amount of time. What do you emphasize on day one, knowing that you had like a lot to get done?
Well, I mean, what we try to do in day one is keep things vanilla. You know, not be like on defense. We're not running like blitzes and pressures and movements and twists. Just kind of playing base, playing zone coverage. On offense, keeping it kind of vanilla formations, kind of vanilla plays. Let everybody focus on their fundamentals, and we keep that going pretty, you know, for about 2 days. Then start little by little integrating in some install of, you know, more sophistication on offense, defense, stuff like that. But, you know, the important thing is keeping tabs on. It's not about right now the offense trying to get over on the defense or the defense trying to get over. You know, it's not. It's about team development early on in training camp. I think when we have such great cohesion here on our staff, that it's such a good. You know, it's easy. Sometimes you get these things where, you know, this coordinator's competitive and everybody wants to win, but we want to win. We want to win on opening day. You know, I'm not trying to win the day today like that. You know, we're trying to develop. Every day is a development. So we keep it pretty simple early.
There's no secret, right? There's like a different kind of buzz going into this season than maybe in years past. Like maybe it was like, hey, we got to prove something. Hey, you know, and now there's like outsiders expected a lot from guys. Like, how do you could you sense that coming in? And was there a different
Well, I mean, we talked about in the spring with our team. You know, we want to take the next step. You know, and you know, how do you take the next step? What is the next step? You know, well, you know, it's you know, it's a way you approach it, and we have to look at how we can improve to take the next step. So first of all, we have to own our identity. That's number one. We talk about our identity. Number two is we have to attack the areas that we needed to fix from a year ago, and we have to systematically go about attacking them. Like one of the things we focused on in the spring, which we're going to pick back up here, is sudden change. You know, and all of a sudden, you know, it's, you know, what is a sudden change? I mean, you know, you just threw an interception. The defense has got to come out and they got to make a stand right there. Or it's 4th and 1, you got to get a critical first down. Or, you know, all the situations that arise, we've got to win those. And so, you know, we have a series of things that we feel like we have to improve. You know, on defense, we want to have a stronger run defense on 1st and 2nd down. And really, more importantly, actually, is 3rd down run defense, which is an interesting piece. Just little things, you know. You know, and we're trying to take all the things that we have identified that were things that we need to improve, and we're systematically attacking those, so that the whole team can say, okay, this is what we worked on, this is how we got better at it, and that's how we're going to take another step. You you know. So there's a lot of pieces to that. And if, you know, I think that the veteran leadership, the quality of players we have. I mean, in the senior class, you know, we have a number of draftable guys right now. That usually speaks to the level of your talent, right? So, you know, we have re-recruited this program, right? And that's where we are right now. So we have a bunch of older guys.
Speaking of older guys, a guy like Lindstrom on the offensive line, how important has he been so far? You know, just, you know, you always like to have a veteran offensive line, but him in particular, what's his role been like so far?
Well, he and John Baker, and you know, have the most starts under him here, right? But yeah, you know what? I mean, so does Aaron Montero. I mean, we got a lot. We got 7 guys that got 10 starts on them. So I just think the leadership up front. You know, what you'll see happen sometimes is when you're not veteran up front or you're young up front, you're not good enough up front. Everything else just kind of starts falling apart on you. But it's not going to happen with these guys up front. You know, they know what they're doing. There's not like a bunch of errors going on the football field in practice. You know, and that's the beauty of it. And then you have the leadership, the mentality of a guy like Chris and John. You know, they have great leadership and mentality, so they really drive that unit. That's why it's so critical. You know, it all starts up front. You know, if you want to have a good football team, it starts up front. And then, of course, your quarterback's an integral piece of that, right? He's got to be a great leader and a guy that's kind of time tested a little bit. So these are all the important pieces, and we have these pieces in our football team right now. We got to get Anthony back to where he was, better, right? And we got to continue to develop our football team, and that's how you systematically go about it. Because the margin for error for us is small. I mean, you know, based on, you can see who we play. I mean, our schedule is very, very demanding, very challenging. We play in the toughest side of the division. Our permanent crossover game is, you know, picked to win the other side of the division. I mean, our permanent is Virginia Tech, but our other crossover this year is Miami. I mean, so if you take in a bag, shake it up, the top 7 teams in the league, we play every one of them. So that just is what it is. And we're equipped now to be able to handle that, but that's a challenge. So that's why I say the margin for error is very small to take the next step, right? You've been winning 6, 7 games. How do you win more? How do you take the next step? You got to go get those wins against those kinds of opponents, you know, not low-level opponents.
Got time for 2 more?
Of all the rule changes, the one thing that seems to be most beneficial to everybody is the red shirt thing. Which gives you, I haven't talked to a coach who doesn't think that's a great rule.
Yes, 100%. I mean, that's the most significant rule change, because now, like, you know, last year I played E.J. Perry for a few plays, right. You know, and that never has to happen again. You know, and it's all about player welfare, because now you can, you know, not have to play a guy that's injured and, you know, maybe doesn't need to play, and you can play a younger guy, and it's not going to cost him a year, over a quarter, a half, a game, whatever. So that, to me, is a huge rule change that I think is great. Really, really positive. You know, I think one of the tougher rule changes is going to be after you score a touchdown, the clock. That one's going to be tough, because, you know, you're going to get, you know, especially if you want to go for 2 or something. Because you've got to get the attention of the officials and where you want the ball placed, but the clock's already going. They're going to automatically wind that clock. So that's going to cause, I think, some issues.